Good afternoon, I guess I should say evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by the Teton Auto Group, as well as Ermac Pediatrics. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valley-Wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, your local Toyota dealers, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Welcome into Madison High School here in Rexburg, Idaho for week 0. This is it, the first football game of the year. Well, there's actually a few more that have already kicked off. Our game was delayed by a JV game. It was a pretty good game. Went late, a final heave at the end for Madison fell short, and Owyhee got the win. Welcome in. I'm Logan Green, joined alongside Hayden Lee and Paul Kingsbury, and we are here for week 0. Thank you so much for joining us, especially any Owyhee fans out there that are staying back wherever you're at, Meridian, Star, Nampa. I live in Middleton, so I know Owyhee is just like everything just past me. You know, that's all the Owyhee folks. So welcome in to all the Madison fans watching at home or wherever you may be. This should be a fun one. These two teams met a year ago, a 13-7 victory for Owyhee. Owyhee, of course, this now their 3rd season playing varsity football, 3rd year as a school. And don't let that distract you, saying, oh, you know, a lot of times you see new schools come in, and it takes them a while to get their feet underneath them. Owyhee has state championships in baseball, in basketball, in softball. They went to state in soccer. They went to state in girls. You know, they are very good. And last year, their football team actually qualified for the state tournament just in their 2nd year of existence.
Yeah, you've got kind of a battle here of 2 different schools. You've got a school with a storied history here at Madison, 7 state championships here in football. And then you have Owyhee here who's trying to make a name for themselves. Like you said, Logan, they're in their 3rd season here. They had a great season last year, fell just short in the state playoffs. But this year trying to go a little bit further and take it to the next level. Yeah,
Owyhee fell in the 1st round, had a road trip over this way just south down Highway 20 against Rigby. And, you know, Madison looking to get revenge here. Madison's coming into this one, a new regime here behind center for the Bobcats. Gone is Ben Dredge, the all-do-everything quarterback for Madison. He led the way in rushing. He led the way, obviously, in passing. He did just about everything for Madison. So it's going to be interesting to see here. That's one of the main storylines, I think, is where does Madison go? They weren't a bad team last year. Did not make the playoffs. And, you know, that game, you look at it, week 1 against Owyhee. The winner of that game was going to get that last spot at state. That's how the Max Preps rankings worked out. Like it or not, that is just what it is. Owyhee won. They get that boost. Owyhee makes the playoffs. And, you know, if I'm Rigby, looking back, if I'm Rigby, I'm probably glad it wasn't Madison. Just weird things happen in games like that, right, where it's a rivalry. Weird things happen. Rather just have a clean slate. Rigby, of course, went on to win the state championship.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game tonight, Logan. There's a lot to look forward to, some changes on the offensive side of the ball for Madison, and some new blood here from Owyhee. It's going to be a great football game, and just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Owyhee, this is the 1st year. We're going to see if we can get this off and see a little bit better of a shot there. There's the officials. Let's go ahead and meet those officials really quick. Let's give them their time in the sun. Right now, the referee is Blair. Do you remember what he said?
Blair Peepo.
Peepo.
Yes.
Blair Peepo is the referee. The umpire will be Tegan Smith. The linesman, Ryan Hansen. Line judge will be Tony Long, and the back judge is Caleb Marler.
Blair also wanted to let us know that he is 6'2", 210, so wanted to make sure we were aware of his stats as well as the referee.
He came in here and said, wow, it's real nice up here. We told him he could probably call the game from up here. You know, plenty of fans can do it just as well as him.
He couldn't do it any worse up here.
Yes, there you go. According to anybody else in this thing. I kid. But, you know, Owyhee, of course, this is their 3rd year as a varsity football program. And, of course, they made the playoffs as here come the Madison Bobcats. But this is now the first chance for, you know, these kids for Owyhee now have 2 years under their belt as Owyhee players. A lot of times you see that. You play, freshman ball, you play JV, and then you move up to varsity. You get those 2 years. A lot of these kids didn't have that. They got thrown into varsity as a sophomore just because of the dynamics. Not a lot of seniors there at Owyhee. So now the Storm have a little bit of footing underneath them. It didn't stop them last year from making state, but maybe a little bit more of that cement around the team here today.
Yeah, and if they don't run into that buzzsaw that is Rigby High School, first round of the playoffs, they might make a deeper run. So Owyhee has a lot to look forward to. Really excited to watch them play tonight. Got a few more seniors this year, obviously, than they did last year, just with the growth of the school there. So hopefully they can compete well here against Madison tonight.
Yeah, the Storm do bring back a couple of all-conference players. Caden Newman back for Owyhee, as well as Cade Martin. He was honorable mention. Gage Hawes, as well as Jack Young. So just a couple of names to watch there as well for Owyhee. So this one should be fun. We're about 5 minutes from kickoff here. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills here with our sponsors, and be back with the kickoff here on IdahoSports.com.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the East Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 5 and District 6 activities in Idaho.
Just think about this. The Highland Ram cheerleaders won their 14th 5AA title in the past 15 seasons. And then they went on to win the national competition in California.
Hosted by Sean Kane, the East Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. Or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. Later, Toyota.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Connor from Idaho Falls. In high school, I started having trouble with my muscles. Playing football, kids half my size were pushing me around. My mom and I spent months traveling the country looking for answers. We finally got one right here at IRMAC. I have a rare disease that causes my cells to lose energy. After 2 years of using a wheelchair, the therapist at IRMAC taught me how to walk again. Now I can do the things that I enjoy and live the life I want. That's why I say, take me to Ermac.
And welcome back, everybody, here as the coin toss. That's not how you say it. The coin toss is underway. Madison will receive the opening kickoff. So the beginning of the 2023 season about to get underway. The Madison Bobcats, red jerseys, red pants, red helmets. Owyhee, the visiting Storm, in the white jerseys, white pants, and black helmets. And welcome to this broadcast on IdahoSports.com. If you're tuning in for the first time watching a broadcast on Idaho Sports, don't just watch this tonight and then don't come back to the site. We have everything you need to stay up to date with your team, whether it's Madison, whether it's Owyhee, whether it's somebody else anywhere around the state. We have schedules and scores, photo galleries, everything you can think of for every school in the state. Every school has their own dedicated page. You can see it there when you click right into it. You can see when you clicked into this broadcast, you can see a logo for Madison, a logo for Owyhee. You'll see underneath there some power boosters for each local school. But if you click on that logo, it goes right to their page. You can check out volleyball, basketball, soccer, everything. All sports are covered right here on IdahoSports.com. Here we go. Kickoff set from the 40. The ball rolls off because it's windy in Rexburg. Who knew? And the booting this one away will be Nathan Gammett, the senior kicker for the Storm, back deep to receive for Madison. If I can read the numbers, that looks like the sun is right on him. I believe that's Mason Phillips on the left side. And on the right, Chase Crane back to receive. It is Phillips. So here we go. They're going to hold the tee there, and we are underway. This one goes deep and out of bounds. It'll be a touchback for Madison. And some extracurriculars and some laundry already. It took one play and 0 seconds off the clock for us to get our first penalty.
Both teams fired up, looks like, to play some football here, week 0.
So officials going to discuss what we've got. Again, the ball has not been live yet.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team, unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team. By rule, these penalties off.
So both teams just some emotions. We'll call it that. A penalty on both emotions. And we'll start here at the 20-yard line. Under center for Madison. That's number 10, Hazen Torgensen. Gets the start. The junior will, at least for now, be replacing Ben Dredge behind center. Quick pass out to the right side across the 20 down to the 22. That pass caught by number 3, Chase Crane.
Both teams, Madison and Owyhee, like to spread out their offense. We're going to see a lot of quick passes today, a lot of runs in space. Looks like Owyhee's going to run a lot of nickel packages tonight on defense.
So 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard gain. And this one's going to be a rush over to the right and losing 2 yards. There will be number 1, Barkley Beck for Madison.
Great pursuit by the Owyhee team. There's several there to back him up if he missed the tackle there. That's going to be the key, I think, defensively for both teams, is just being able to tackle in space. Anytime you come up against a spread team like Madison or Owyhee, you've got to be able to tackle in space one-on-one.
Madison, this one caught right at the 32-yard line. That pass right on the money on third down. It'll be a first down for Madison.
Great sliding almost catch from the Madison receiver there.
It's Lucas Franson with the catch. So quickly back up to the line. Madison looking to go right side. Another catch here by Beck, and Beck, he's got about 2 yards.
I'll tell you what, Madison's quarterback is looking really poised. Hazen Torgerson's just looking really, really poised. Doesn't feel like he has to force anything downfield. Taking his time, making the correct reads. That was a great pass to the right there for a couple of yards.
Torgerson in the shotgun this time. Backs on either side, 2 up top. He'll send up top Javen Ball. Here's a run to the left and nothing doing there. Malesay got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's tough. Second down. You can't get any more than a yard there. I mean, they're going to put themselves in 3rd and long. I'd like to see something a little bit more over the middle. Those crossing routes appeared to be open earlier.
So 3rd down and 8. Able to convert the last 3rd down they had. That was 3rd and 10. Here's the pass deep over the top. That one a little too far out of the reach for Javen Ball. Incomplete. And Madison will be forced to punt.
Great coverage there from Owyhee. Number 3, Matt Rogers. Used the out of bounds as an extra defender there and was almost able to kind of force the receiver to run real tight against the out of bounds there, the sideline, and we're going to see a punting situation here on 4th down.
So back to punt for Madison. Once I can see the number, got a whistle here. Owyhee's going to take a timeout. So back to punt for Madison looks to be Lucas Franson, the sophomore. So that drive for Madison only takes up about 2 minutes and 46 seconds. They pick up 14 yards on that drive.
One of the challenging things there, playing defense against the spread, is most of the time you're pretty tired because they're running up and down the field on you. But Owyhee with a great bend, don't break defensive stop there. They got 1 first down, but was able to get a stop here, and hopefully we'll get out here on offense and receive this punt.
Now 16 passing yards on that drive. Yeah. -2 rush yards. Nothing really there for Barkley Beck. So we'll do it again now. So Owyhee talked about what they wanted to talk about. This one shanked hard to the right. This one's not even going to get across the line of scrimmage. It goes backwards.
It's a tough break for Madison there. This is going to give Owyhee great field position on their first offensive drive of the year, really. And, man, this is going to be great field position for them.
Well, that punt landed at the 34-yard line. The punt landed on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nothing really doing there.
It's always tough to have that, you know. You're like, well, darn, if I had known I was going to do that, I would have went for it.
Would have tried something crazy.
Hail Mary, something. Even a 1-yard gain is better than that. But here we are. So Owyhee will take over in phenomenal field position at the 34-yard line. Under center for the Storm, number 4, Matt Irwin. Irwin waits the snap. There's a handoff right side, a little hole. Pickup of about 2. The Madison defense swarms as the gap looked like it was there for a minute, but evaporated quickly.
Really, really quickly. Yeah, Madison, their linebackers seem to fill those gaps pretty well. It's an interesting defensive strategy with Owyhee spreading you out like that to have 4 down linemen, but it was a great stop there on the run.
So 2nd down, 8 yards to go, 8:35 to go here in the first quarter. Irwin fakes the handoff, goes outside, but the Madison defense all over it. Great job in the backfield. That looked like it was number 34, Kyler Brady was one of the first Madison players in there that at least got a hand on him to slow up Irwin.
Yeah, great pursuit there. There's not a whole lot that quarterback could do, not a whole lot Irwin could do there to get around that defensive end there. Be interesting to see what they try and dial up here on 3rd and long.
So 3rd down, 9 yards to go, ball on the 33-yard line. Now we did on that opening kickoff from Gamet. I mean, he booted that thing, so he's got a leg on him. Sorry about the camera shaking there as the Madison fans pound the stadium. Shotgun snap. Irwin goes right side. There's some room, and he's going to be right at the sticks. Did he step out? No, he stayed in bounds, and he's right there at the 24-yard line. That should be a 1st down. We'll see if they measure or they just point. Nope, there it is. 1st down, Owyhee.
Great play call. Used the boundary there, ran a little out route, and looked like he was able to pick it up pretty easily. Pretty wide open, honestly. And if you're Owyhee, I'd use that to your advantage from here on out. Some of those short passing plays, 5 to 6 yards. Just take what the defense will give you.
So both teams get 1st downs on their first set of downs. Madison wasn't able to convert on their 2nd set. We'll see what the Storm can do here. 1st and 10, 7:05 to go in the 1st quarter. Irwin cuts back inside, and he's wrapped up, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Awesome defense there from Madison. They ran a little QB counter, pulled both the guard and tackle from the backside. And just nothing doing there for Matt Irwin. A really impressive defensive stop there from Madison.
Both teams have been able to control the run for either side defensively. Really not much to speak for on the ground. 1st downs have come through the air for both sides. 2nd and 10, 6:25 to go 1st quarter. Irwin keeps it in the gut of the running back, Jamerson, and they're gonna say forward progress halted at around the 22.
Yeah, like you said, only a couple yards doing there on the run game. Just doesn't seem like there's much opening up for either team on these first drives. Pass plays seem to really be making the difference here.
3rd down and 8. Ball sits at the 22 on the far hash. 5:50 to go here in the 1st quarter. This game did kick off late if you're just joining us, as the JV game went very long. They didn't get done till 7 o'clock. And sacked, what a hit in the backfield. Coming in hot, number 22, Porter Cottle with the slam down.
What an awesome play by the Madison defense. Had to have it. And now they're looking here to be a 4th and long. Maybe they're going to send the kicker out. Like you mentioned, he's got a leg on him, Logan.
Yeah, and this is one thing in the 5A SIC. There are a lot of great kickers. You look at Mountain View, top 10 kicker in the nation right now, just committed to Boise State. So here comes the kick from the foot of Gamet. This kick is up. It's got the leg, and I think it's through. It is. It's good. From 45 yards.
That's an impressive kick right there. Having a kicker in high school at any classification can really be a difference maker for your team. Being in these 4th down situations, you're past the midfield line, you're unsure what to do, you don't want to punt. Being able to have a kicker like that's impressive.
Unless it's 8-man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
You don't. So it's like I saw somebody kick a field goal. It was the Rimrock kicker last year. Made a he made like a 40-yarder, and it's like, well, somebody even kicked an 8-man. That was
right?
Let's not talk about him making it. Let's talk about they even kicked it. So a 45-yard field goal at the 4:52 mark of the 1st quarter. Good from the foot of number 38, Nathan Gamet. So Madison will get another shot at it. I tell you what, right there, having a kicker that can do that makes a huge difference. And you look at last year, this was just a 1-score game. And you know, if you're Owyhee, you can take a sack. A lot of teams, that would have been a disaster. That just put them from maybe the fringe of field goal range we got to go for it here, but Owyhee able to punch it in, and this one through the back of the end zone, another touchback, 2 for 2 on those for Gammon.
Yeah, we might have a player of the game that's a kicker.
The Idaho Sports, the IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department, right now is going his way. I mean, it is.
If we awarded those for first quarter play, for the first 10 minutes of first quarter play, he'd have it locked up.
So Madison comes back out, starting again at the 20-yard line. This time they'll run it up the middle and nothing there. Oh, and he stays on his feet and ends up picking up 4 yards. There's a case of a defender just trying to throw someone down instead of using their body to take them down, and able to spin out of it. And the best run we've seen today.
Yeah, that was awesome. Gage Hawes from Owyhee had him dead to rights there after just about a yard gained and couldn't quite wrap him up.
So Barkley Beck, 4 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 6, 4:20 to go. Here comes a pass right side, and they're going to say it was caught. Great job going down by Javen Ball to make the catch, a gain of about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 28.
Be interesting to see what they try here. 3rd and short, you would think they'd probably try and run the ball, but they haven't really been able to get much going there. Be interesting to see what they dial up here for Madison.
Snap, they'll go left side, and a keeper, and only a yard picked up. It'll be 4th down and 1. It was a good look. Everything so far had been here to the near side, and they go opposite direction, and only a yard picked up. We'll see if Madison maybe wants to try their luck here and go for it, as coming back out is Torgerson.
Yeah, great pursuit by the defense there. A whole host of Storm players were able to get in on that tackle. 4th and short here. Got to try and get a stop.
Man in motion. They'll make the snap. Here's the run up the middle, and he gets right to it. Tell you, right there on defense was number 19, Bryson Rodas for Owyhee, but it wasn't enough. He couldn't push him back, and a 1st down going to be picked up.
Yeah, if you're Owyhee, you can't be too upset. I mean, they got a 1st down here, but you've done a really good job stopping the run, and you're going to try and force this quarterback to try and make some plays with his arm. Really, really great job so far from the defense.
2:40 to go here in the 1st quarter. 1st and 10 Madison. Jorgensen comes right. Here's the throw across his body. That one to nobody. Goes out of bounds. Intended for number 14, Javen Ball, but he was a good 5 yards behind the ball.
Yeah, number 5, Caden Singer, was in the backfield in the quarterback's face. He's had several pressures so far, actually. So if he can keep this up, it's going to be hard for Madison to move the ball throughout the rest of the game.
2.5 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Clock is stopped on that incompletion. 3 receivers up top right now for Madison. They're giving him all day back there. Jorgensen thought about throwing it. Finally, he just throws it away. Owyhee gave him all day back there. Finally, Lucas Skinner said, all right, I'll put a little pressure on you, and Skinner forces him to throw it away.
It was great read by the Owyhee defensive line. Madison tried to run a little screen there, and they sniffed it out quick. They knew immediately there was going to be a screen, and unfortunately, they just didn't have anywhere else to go with the ball.
A lot of times you see the defense just going gangbusters on the quarterback, and that time they said, nope, we'll just stay back here. So 3rd and long. Drifting left, some room to run. He gets through the 1st tackle. Stopped right at the 39-yard line. Good tackle there by Owyhee. Was number 1, Caden Newman, on the stop. He prevents a 1st down right there for the Storm.
Looks like no hesitation for Madison.
Caden Newman, of course, a all-conference player last year for the Storm. And a big stop there to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and probably run the ball again like they did on the last 4th down. Don't know what they're going to dial up here.
Torgerson back. He'll hand it off left side, some room to run, and he just gets it. They say football's a game of inches, and man, it has been so far for Madison. 2 first downs on this drive where the ball has pretty much been touching the line to gain each time.
I'll tell you what, Barkley Beck is earning his weight in gold tonight. He probably only has a couple yards running, but has earned every single step. Most of the yards he's had so far have been after contact.
1:17 to go here in the first quarter. So far, 21 yards on this drive by Madison as they started back at their 20. Torgerson goes to the right. This one caught, and Owyhee will wrap him up as they tackle through out of bounds. Wrapped up there by number 3, Matt Rogers.
Yeah, good pursuit there. It was just a really, really well-designed play from Madison. Madison was able to get Javen Ball in space and got 5 or 6 yards there. Madison's putting together a pretty solid drive so far. It'd be interesting to see if they can sustain this as they get across midfield.
Yeah, that time a 7-yard pickup. They're saying 6. That's probably 6. It's 2nd and 4. Ball on the 47. 45 seconds to go, so at least one more play here in the first quarter. Here's a run right side and just shy of midfield. That time, not much room for Beck to move.
Man, it seems like just about any time there's a tackle out in space, it's been Matt Rogers so far from the Owyhee defense.
Yeah, Rogers, the 6'3" senior defensive back for the Storm, has been all over the place on defense here tonight, as that might do it for the first quarter. As the clock, 3, 2, 1. So that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Owyhee leads this one 3-0 over Madison. We're going to take this chance to thank some of our local sponsors here tonight.
Yeah, local sponsor here for Madison versus Owyhee is Taylor Chevrolet. Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support Madison athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right. Buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexford location or visit their website at www.taylorchevrolet.com.
And Taylor Chevrolet is I'll say, no hesitancy to support high school sports.
None at all.
Whenever we ask them if they would like to be a part of a broadcast, it's never, let me think about it. It's yes, we want to be a part of it. They love all the schools in the Upper Valley here, North Fremont, South Fremont, Sugar, Madison, Rigby. So here we go, 3rd down and a short 2. Closer to 1.5. This run will come from the backfield and bouncing off the first. It bounced off his offensive lineman and picks up the first down. That's the first carry of the night for number 2, Jake Rhodes.
Great pickup there. Had some initial contact. Seems like most of Madison's runs that have gained any kind of yardage have come after some first contact in the backfield. Owyhee knew it was coming, and Madison was still able to pick it up there.
So here we go, 11:42 to go, second quarter. Madison putting together a drive here. Torgerson goes right. Some room to run on this pass, and up close to the 40-yard line, a gain of 8. They'll say they'll brought down at the 41, a gain of 7.
Yeah, Owyhee seems to be walking up their safeties and most of their corners, kind of daring Madison try and go deep on them, and Madison's just taking these short chunk plays, and seems to be so far working out for him on this drive.
Really no big plays in this game. There was a 12-yard pass on the first drive where Madison got that first down. Owyhee had a long 10-yard play on third down to get a first, and outside of that, that right there was the longest play. Torgerson, he's going to throw right side. That one a little short, intended there for Javen Ball.
Yeah, some great coverage there as well, even if it had been completed by Caden Newman from the Owyhee defense. They've been playing pretty tight here. They're playing very much a bend, don't break style of defense. They're just trying not to give up that big play.
So third down and 3 yards to go. Clock stopped with 10:52 to go here in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see how tired this Owyhee team gets from this drive. Madison is really just trying to wear them out here, running as many plays as possible.
And they run up quickly to the line. Nobody back. The ball is dropped on the snap. Torgerson keeps it up the middle, and he's not going to get there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage if he's lucky, but I think he lost half a yard. So now it's going to be fourth down, but you're in this no man's land. You're between the 50 and the 40. I'll say no gain, so it's fourth down now, 3 yards to go. Madison's gone for it their last 2 times on fourth down. And they've been able to convert.
Madison, man, they probably wish they had Owyee's kicker right now.
Yeah, he could.
I don't know if he'd boot it this far, but he might. They might take a chance.
Ian Hershey would. the Highland kicker that haunts the dreams of SIC players. And this one breaks free. He's at the 30, up to the 20, and he'll be knocked out of bounds around the 17. And there's the big play we were looking for from either side as Torgerson takes it a long ways for a big first down for the Bobcats.
Again, it seems like most of these runs are coming after first contact. He looked like he was going to get tackled after about 2 or 3 yards gained is all, and nobody could wrap him up, and he made a big cutback to the left, and big gain for Madison. Owyee's got to get a stop here if they really want to keep this game from getting out of hand.
And that was very Ben Dredge-esque, I'll say, for Madison, you know, having a quarterback that can just get something going with his feet. So here we go, first down. Throw a screen outside, and I think they're going to lose. No, they'll say, yeah, he went down at the 20. It's going to lose about half a yard on that one. Again, that completion there to Javen Ball.
Again, great coverage. Owyee's just trying not to give up those big plays there. They're really pressing the line of scrimmage with their corners. Big thing is for them right now is just got to be able to make those first tackles. They made a great tackle there. Just got to keep that momentum going.
Second down. Torgerson, one to his right. He'll go to pass and wide open. That one's intercepted at the 1 yard line. He had a man drifting back in the end zone, but the pass just kind of died, and it was caught midair. What a pick there by Owyhee.
Looks like that was picked off by Logan Hostveit. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It was a great catch. Looks like the ball was just slightly underthrown. Madison had a wide open receiver in the end zone. Just couldn't quite get the ball to him. Owyee's going to get the ball back now.
And now it makes sense that it was Hostveit with the interception. He is probably the best freshman basketball player in the state last year. Played for Mountain View. Obviously not at Mountain View anymore. But he's got hops on the basketball court, and I tell you what, he got up for that. That was a touchdown. If he cannot get up any higher, that thing is in the end zone for 6.
Well, if you're the Madison defense here, you got to be pretty happy with how you played the previous drive of Owyhee. He gave up 3 points to to Owyhee. But really, the defense played pretty well. I think they're hoping here to get a stop and get some good field position for their offense.
So Owyhee will take over inside their 10-yard line at the 7. First and 10. This one right side, room to run. Pushing forward across the 10, down to the 12. So a nice 5-yard run to give themselves some breathing room.
Yeah, it's a good pickup by Owyhee. In these short yardage situations, with backed up against your own end zone, you just got to try and get the pressure off of yourself there. But a great tackle by a whole host of Madison Bobcats. He's second and somewhat long here.
So 2nd and 6, they'll say only 4 on that one. Snap a little low, he'll drift right, some room to run over here. He'll wait across the 15, got a first down, and the ball came out. The ball came out, Madison says they got it, and they do. So trying to keep the play alive was Matt Irwin, and he loses the ball.
Man, if I am the Madison Bobcats offense, I am thanking my defense there. Bailed you out when you made a mistake. Now Madison's got the ball right back in scoring position.
Number 52 on the recovery there for Madison, Cash Summers.
It's a great play by the sophomore there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Madison. Almost about the spot they were on the turnover, on the interception. Little trick-a-roo here, some room on the left side and out of bounds. Great stop outside by number 20 for Owyhee. That's Braxton Dunn. Dunn stayed home.
Yeah, the Madison offense trying to draw something up to get the run game going. Don't want to push too much pressure on the pass here.
So 2nd and 6 here for Madison. Again, Madison was just here, but then an incredible interception by Logan Hostveit. And then another turnover by Owyhee, so we're just right back where we started. This run up the middle, left side and across the 5, and a 1st and goal situation here for Madison as the Bobcats are finding some holes here on the ground now.
Yep. Great play call. Ran a little counter there, pulled some offensive linemen to try and get some of the big guys out in front and seemed to obviously benefit them. They're going to have a 1st and goal here. Hawaii's got to try and keep with their bend, don't break, see if they can get a stop.
So 1st and goal. Ball at the 4, 3 different backs in the backfield right now for Madison. Torgerson hands it off, left side, room to run, and going into the end zone for the touchdown is Barkley Beck.
Barkley Beck, if there's a guy here that deserved it so far, he has rushed for some hard yards here in the first half and got a lot of carries that didn't really turn out into much, but he deserved that touchdown, and Madison put together a pretty good, although quick, drive.
So a touchdown punch through here for Madison. Again, their first drive, they had a punt that went nowhere, literally a 0-yard punt. And they then had a turnover inside the red zone, and they took that ball right back on another turnover there by Owyhee, and this time able to get it through, and extra point is up. It's good. And Madison takes the 7-3 lead here at home in week 0. As there are some games going on around the state right now. Not a ton of games, but there are some games. If we take a quick trip around the scoreboard tonight and see how things are going right now. In the 3rd quarter, CUNA leads Centennial 7-0 over in the Treasure Valley. And I'll have to see the score, but last I heard, Rigby was actually losing by double digits to Coeur d'Alene. Sugar Salem all over Century right now, 28-0, just up the road from us. Minico and Thunder Ridge also playing, and right now a close one, 14-7. Minico on top of Thunder Ridge. Minico under new head coach this year, Sherm Blaser, who was the former Owyhee coach for their first 2 years, who was the former CUNA coach before that when they won a 4A state championship. So there's your trip around the sun of sports. Those games are all on IdahoSports.com tonight, by the way. So here we go. Madison will kick this one off. And this one dropped at about the 12. Owyhee picks it up and wrapped up right at the 20. So pretty much the entire game has taken place on this left side of the field.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of offense across the midfield. I would say in about a 40-yard span, the entire game's been played so far. A couple of turnovers quick. Madison now, their defense is going to trot out here and try and get another stop here against Owyhee.
So again, Owyhee fumbled the ball that last possession. Matt Irwin trying to make something after contact and loses the ball. Madison turns it into 7 points. Here's a handoff and wrapped up. Big tackle in the backfield by the Bobcats.
Yeah, it looks like Owyhee tried to run a little zone read there, and maybe a slight miscommunication between Irwin and his running back. Madison sniffed it out quick.
And that's Cottle again, Porter Cottle on the tackle. He has had multiple big stops in this one for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Madison, that defensive line is really challenging them right now. It'll be interesting to see if Owyhee tries to dial something up over the middle.
And this was a defensive game last year. I mean, it was 13-7. It wasn't a high-scoring affair. And here's a pass across the middle, right on the money, and caught at the 30-yard line. Great catch right there by the Owyhee receiver, number 35. That's Nolan Scott.
Yeah, Madison's defense was almost kind of daring Owyhee to try something over the middle there, and looks like Irwin was able to find a connection with his receiver.
And they're going to say that's a... I thought they were going to say it's a first down. I think they're going to... Nope, they're not going to measure. It is a first down, they're going to say. That's a generous 30-yard line. The ball looks like it, maybe the nose of it is touching the first blade of white artificial turf on the 30-yard line. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. This one goes up the middle, and Madison all over it once again. Really nowhere to run right now for Owyhee.
Yeah, great stop there by the defensive line, Madison. They've really seemed to kind of own the line of scrimmage against Owyhee so far. Owyee's tried several different things to get the ball going in a positive direction with their run game, but Madison's held pretty strong.
It was Bryce Dredge, one of the first men there for Madison, the brother of quarterback Ben Dredge, who is gone. Under 6 minutes to play now here as we have 2nd and 9 for Owyhee. That ball is out, and that one is going to be recovered by Madison. Falling right on it was the defender. And let's see who is that comes away with the ball. It happened so fast. Oh, here we go, number 66. That's Tayton Warnke with the fumble recovery, and he was just right there, and I'm sure he had something to do with that. He busted through the line. There could not have been a easy handoff situation there in the backfield, and the ball comes out, and 2 possessions in a row, Madison's going to take over inside their own 30, or inside the Owyhee 30, I should say. As Owyhee comes right out and gets a stop in the backfield.
Yeah, you got to be feeling pretty happy if you're Madison. It's another great stop on defense and really allows your offense to try and experiment here a little bit. You've got great field position. You've got a couple of really awesome stops with some turnovers there. Be interesting to see what they try and dial up on this drive.
And that's what Owyhee needed. Right there is cause a loss on first down. That puts Madison in the hole. The last couple of drives, Madison's been able to have a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 where they have some room to play, and they don't have that right now. And this is going to be another one they're going to lose yardage again. And back there once again on the stop is Tyler Frazier. That's 2 tackles for loss in a row for Frazier.
When you're going up against a spread team, Logan, it really, you kind of rely a lot on your corners and defensive backs to be some of your best tacklers. And both corners for Owyhee have just made some awesome plays so far. Here in space, made some great tackles to try and help their defense out.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 14. All of a sudden, Madison now in a little bit of trouble here, as they need to get a good chunk of yards to make it a manageable 4th down or a manageable field goal. Torgerson across the middle, wide open, and scooting forward. I think they're going to be about a yard short as Beck caught it coming across the middle, and it's going to be about a yard short.
Those crossing routes can be hard to predict as a defense. They sent just about everybody else deep, and Beck came up, ran a little 7-yard crossing route and was able to get a good chunk there. And Madison's going to go for it here on 4th and short again.
And based on what their offense has shown, they're going to go for it on 4th down. That whole play's design was just to pick up yardage to make it an easier 4th. Here's the option, and Owyhee snuffs it out. And the forward progress may be back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. I believe it'll be Storm ball.
Great stop there by Owyhee. Needed to get one so this game didn't get out of hand. Go down 2-possession game here. They're going to get the ball back and be basically right back to where they're starting, right around the 20-yard line.
One of the first guys in there, and it's Jack Young, the all-conference performer from a year ago for the Storm, a senior, 6'3" defensive lineman. He's the one that caused that loss in the backfield. I guess I should say no gain on the play. And Madison turns it over. So the turnover bug has really been a problem. I mean, outside of the 2 scores, we've had 2 fumbles, an interception, and a really bad punt. That has been what we've had. So you're either going to score or it's not going to end well. So 1st and 10 here for Owyhee. This run up the middle and a great run pushing forward across the 25 is the Storm for Jamerson.
Yeah, great play call there. Just trying to get a running back moving downhill. It seems like the fumbles have come when someone has tried to do something a little too extra on the outside, and I love some of these downhill runs. Just get your running back in a better space, get him moving forward, and just let your offensive line try and win that battle against the defensive line.
So now a very manageable 2nd and 1 here for the Storm. As they run this one up the middle, they'll have a 1st down and a fresh set of downs. Madison's pointing the other way like they have the ball. I don't know what David Dalby sees, but
I think he was really hoping for one of those generous spots again, but looks like they're going to get a 1st down. Owyhee is, and they're just trying to kind of establish that run, try and make some smarter decisions here on the offensive side of the ball and get the ball moving.
Don't forget, we'll have our Next Steps halftime show here as we're down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds before halftime. As this one will be kept on the outside and room to run. And not a 1st down, but across the 35 and a good chunk on 1st down.
Yeah, this looks like that was the play that Matt Irwin unfortunately fumbled a few possessions ago. These quarterback keepers to the outside, but he held on to it there and got a good chunk play. Madison's really just got to try and wear down this offensive line. The offensive line from Owyhee's getting a good push right now.
2:12 to go, 2nd and 2 here for Owyhee as they want to put some points on the board before halftime. Here's a run left side, lots of room to run, but a flag is going to come out as Owyhee, their longest offensive play of the day. A great run on the outside by Cade Walker, but I believe it's probably coming back.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the first penalty was, but I know what the second one was. Looks like there was a little extracurricular from a Madison Bobcat.
This is where maybe you got held and then you got angry and reacted, and just be held. It's okay. see what the call is. And Owyhee's backing up.
There are 2 penalties on the play. Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. After the play was
That's what I was thinking, dead ball.
unnecessary roughness on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the ball went back 10 yards because of the hold. And then from that spot, they move it forward 15 yards because of the dead ball personal foul. So at the end of the day, a net gain of 5 yards for Owyhee and a first down.
Yeah, that turned an unfortunately a pretty good run into just a few yard gain there for Owyhee.
So we'll restart 1st and 10. Irwin rolls to his left, and he's got plenty of room over there, and he sneaks through. He's across midfield, still on his feet, and a first down.
Irwin is really, really running the ball hard right now, trying to make up for that miscue earlier with the fumble. Seems to be running with purpose the last few plays here.
So Matt Irwin doing it there, picks up a first down. As Owyhee really has not looked to throw deep at all. We've seen a couple of short passes. I mean, neither team for that matter outside of the interception where Madison tried to go deep, but they could not get the ball over Hostveit. Thanks, Andy, for clearing that up for me. There's a quick pass. And again, I mean, the quick passes are working. You run. And that Madison defense expecting a run, and there's a quick pass for a good pickup on first down.
Yeah, Madison defense has got to be thinking in the back of their mind right now that Owyhee's going to get the ball to start the second half. So they've got to get a stop here. Otherwise, Owyhee could score and then get the ball right back after the halftime show and score again.
So 1 minute and 20 seconds. Madison leads at 7-3 here in the second quarter. Owyhee putting together one of the best drives we've seen from either team tonight as they are inside Madison territory. There's a quick pass and a big reception. The biggest pass play we've seen tonight, and a first down picked up by the Storm.
Yeah, Madison really crowding that box, trying to keep Owyhee from running the ball, which unfortunately leaves a lot of the field open over the middle.
And a timeout going to be called here by Madison. As soon as I say the run game, or there's been no passing game for Owyhee, they come back out with 2 straight passes.
Yeah, I think Madison, with the clock running down, might need to make just a couple small adjustments, which I'm sure they're going to be doing here in the huddle and the timeout. Try and see if they can slow down this passing attack here with just about a minute left in the first half, excuse me.
So a minute to go here in the second quarter. Again, stick around. We'll have our Next Steps halftime report here. Big thanks to Next Steps Idaho for being one of our major sponsors. And of course, you know, if you want to be a sponsor for your school, they call them Power Boosters. You can see those when you came into the broadcast before you went full screen. You see some of those Power Boosters right there, like Meridian Plumbing, big insurance there for Owyhee, for Madison. You'll see Upper Valley Orthopedics, as well as Grand Peaks Medical, you know, some of the great businesses around town. If you're interested in that, you can just send me an email. It's just Logan@IdahoSports.com for either Madison or Owyhee or any team in the state, as there's a pass right over the middle and another first down as the air game is working for the Storm right now.
Yeah, Madison's got to be prepared for those over-the-middle passes. There's enough time that even if they don't stop the clock, those over-the-middle passes are going to be there.
So quickly to the line is Irwin. Irwin gets the snap. He'll go right. Another completion. And the Storm are feeling it right now as the ball is in the red zone down to the 11-yard line. 45 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Madison's got to be ready. Get something ready on the defensive side of the ball here.
Irwin rolling right, rolls, throws up, and that one out of bounds.
Looks like Madison was able to dial up some pressure there.
And that's what, you know, Irwin has just been free to roam back there when he wants to throw. and he's been able to create opportunities with his legs. And that time Madison said none of that. You know, you call a timeout there, which Madison did. Maybe that regroups your defense, as there's only 30 seconds here in the first half. You know, both teams do have 2 timeouts, so Owyhee can't afford to go down inbounds. But it is 3rd down and 2 now. And officials, they want to fix the jersey out there. Eden Joy for Owyhee, his shoulder pads were coming out. Again, we'll apologize for the shaking there of the stadium. And there's some pressure. Ball popped in the air. That one is... Somebody's got it. Who's got it? Madison says they do. And they do. What a play by the Bobcats. That one picked off by the big man, number 50, Ismael Figueroa. That ball popped up and hung in the air, and Madison able to find it.
Madison was finally able to make an adjustment in that timeout. It appears they decided we were going to dial up some pressure, and finally got to Matt Irwin, who, like you said, had been really not had a lot of pressure that drive, and great turnover there by the Madison Bobcats.
And it looks like Madison's just going to take a knee and take a lead into halftime. Don't want anything funny to happen. And unless Owyhee calls a timeout, the official has something to say. Guess it doesn't matter. So that's going to do it for the first half of play. We've got ourselves a good one, just like last year, right? 13-7 the final score. This one 7-3 at halftime. Madison on top. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with our Next Steps halftime show right here on IdahoSports.com.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the East Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 5 and District 6 activities in Idaho.
Just think about this. The Highland Ram cheerleaders won their 14th 5A title in the past 15 seasons. And then they went on to win the national competition in California.
Hosted by Sean Kane, the East Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. Or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. stay strong. Toyota trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, is Irmac really the best hospital for pediatric care? I mean, aren't all ERs the same?
Not all ERs are the same. Irmac's ER has been delivering high-level clinical care for over 3 decades. As a Level 2 trauma and burn center, Irmac is well equipped to handle pediatric injury and illness. All Irmac ER nurses have higher level pediatric certifications, and that's just not common in all ERs. And this expertise and experience is found only at Irmac.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
And welcome back to Madison High School, everyone. We are here for the Next Steps halftime show. Welcome in, like I said, welcome into the Next Steps halftime show. Thinking about what's next for your career or education, Next Steps Idaho can help bring you closer to the life you want to read. Again, our score here at halftime, 7-3. As Madison leads it. They scored on a turnover. They scored off of a turnover from Owyhee, and really turnovers, a de facto turnover led to 3 points for Owyhee, and then a true turnover led to 7 points for Madison. And outside of that, the best drive we've seen tonight was the right there at the end of the first half, where Owyhee was able to drive it down inside the 20, down the 11-yard line, but then threw an interception with about 30 seconds to go.
Like you mentioned earlier, Logan, it's kind of been a defensive battle, like it was last year. Both defenses have played pretty well. Obviously, Madison has gotten a couple more turnovers, but it's really been just a defensive matchup that has been pretty solid between these two teams. It'll be interesting to see what coaches' adjustments there are for the second half. I'm interested to see if Owyhee, can keep that offensive momentum going. They had a great offensive drive to finish there, like you said. Madison's defense was seeming to kind of struggle with both the run game and some of those crossing patterns from Owyhee, and really interested to see what happens, what adjustments both coaches make.
Yeah, if we look at the scoring report here in the first half, Owyhee got scoring started at the 4:52 mark of the first quarter. A 45-yard field goal by number 38, Nathan Gammett, got the scoring started. And then a 4-yard touchdown run for Madison by number 1, Barkley Beck, at the 7:44 mark. And that's it. But like you mentioned, I think Owyhee has found something.
Yep.
Madison has yet to go on a long, sustained drive. We did see him score that touchdown. Great, but we haven't seen a long drive. I would say that's the difference. That long drive by Madison or by Owyhee. Now, granted, defenses are, at that point of a game, just don't give up the big play. Just don't give up the big play. We'll let you have those pieces and chunks. And, I mean, it worked, right? Just don't let them score, and then you take a chance when you've got a chance, and they did force a turnover, and Owyhee is out of the end zone. Or, Owyhee was well within field goal range there. And so, that really hurts if you're the Storm, where if that one could have just gotten knocked down, it's 4th down, and then all of a sudden you can just boot that through, and it's a 1-point game.
Yep. Madison, the last couple of plays there, obviously, and, it could have something to do with time running out on the clock or an adjustment after that timeout. But I think Madison defensively was able to get that stop there from the pressure they brought. They blitzed a couple times right there at the end, which is really the only time they've blitzed basically the whole game. And so I wonder if Madison, if I'm Madison's head coach, I'm thinking about blitzing for a good portion of the second half. They got some good pressure on Matt Irwin, and I think if they can keep that up defensively, it's going to be really, really impressive for the second half.
And again, this is week 0, so
yeah,
you're not in full season form. These two teams, if they were to play, they're going to play right now, and if they were to play in 8 weeks, if they played in the playoffs in the last weekend of October, it would be a different game. It would not be the same game. I mean, you look at last year at the 4A level, right? At the 4A level, with Skyline, they lost to Bonneville in the regular season in a low-scoring barn burner, and then they get to the playoffs, and Skyline wins it by a couple of touchdowns. Teams evolve as they go. These teams are just learning. They have had 2 weeks of practice, really, to get under their belt. School just started, at least for Owyhee. I don't think Madison started yet. But it's just you're trying to get things worked out, trying to get the reads right, trying to get the play calls in. New guys up on varsity. It's just a whole new experience for everybody, and it's very early. A lot of teams next week, you're going to see maybe a little bit more further along in their season progression because of that, but because of the way the SIC does things, right? The 5A SIC has a final week crossover game where that helps determine seedings at state and who wins the conference, right? So there's the Rivers and the Mountain Division, and the crossovers will play each other. The one ends up playing, the ones will play each other in a championship game, and then you play your opposite. So if you're 2, you play 6, and 3 plays 5, and the 4s would play each other. It's just, it doesn't work out that way because the numbers are uneven, but that's how it works out. And I think it benefited Owyhee last year because their crossover game was a team, it helps, right? Because now you get to play a game, and if you beat them, that's going to add to your max preps rankings, which can help you when it comes, when it comes down to that last spot at state, so to say.
Yep. Got them into the state tournament, which, for a school that's only in its infancy when it comes to its, just in general, sports programs, only their second year as a football program, being able to make it to state in their second year is an impressive feat.
Yeah, because their crossover game, they played Timberline, right? And Timberline, no disrespect to Timberline, but they just weren't all the way there last year. They really struggled, and so now Owyhee gets a chance to play a lower team, and they win, right? And it helps boost them. It gets them that extra win and boosts them in the state. I mean, you look at the schedule last year for Mountain, or if we look at Owyhee, they beat Madison 13-7. They beat Centennial, and then they beat Boise. So, Centennial and Boise, those are games you expect to win. And then they had to go through the gauntlet of Mountain View and Eagle next. But Mountain View, only a 3-point game. Eagle, 27-7. And then they played Nampa. They lost to Nampa 26-24 and then lost to Bora. So they went on a 4-game losing streak. Then they knock off CUNA, CUNA also went to state last year, so it's not like they were a bad squad. And then they were able to beat Timberline to get in. So every game matters because of the max preps. It's not just qualifications like in basketball, at least for now. That could all change. We don't know how that will change, but it could. If you're interested in hearing what we had to say about that, we have these things called the Prepcast, right, that we put out every week during the regular season. But during the summer, we did a couple of Prepcasts with broadcasters from all over the state and kind of talked about that. What could state tournaments look like? Maybe how could we do it differently? Would love to know your opinion on that. Chime in whenever we have those conversations, because I don't think anybody knows what the right answer is. But in basketball, you have your predetermined how many people are coming from what conference, and it doesn't matter how well you do until seeding. Now in football, you can get a bid based on how well you played, and why he got that last year.
Yeah, I mean, and like you were going through their schedule there, a couple balls bounce their way, and they're not, they don't have 5 wins, they have 7 wins, and
right.
I think it's really awesome that they were able to accomplish what they did last year, and they were so close to being, even that much further along in just their second year as a program. And so I think they're really excited. They got a first-year head coach with the team, not first year to coaching, but, Jason Burton, and You know, like you mentioned, it's week 0. They're trying to work out some of the kinks there on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. But really, you got to be happy with how your defense played so far. I mean, other than a couple of, you know, mistakes in short fields, they've really played fairly well so far on the defensive side of the ball. It's just got to get that offense moving and keep those turnovers to the first half.
Yeah, if you look at last year for Madison, of course, they started off lost to Owyhee. They went on to beat Tooele, Utah. They lost to Blackfoot, and then they went on a big winning streak. They beat Idaho Falls, Thunder Ridge, Preston, and Hillcrest. Now, again, if we look at the rankings, you know, Max Prep, you know, whatever, Idaho Falls, Thunder Ridge, and Preston definitely not winning always helps your case, but you're not going to get a boost from beating those teams necessarily. It would hurt to lose. And then they beat Hillcrest, but then what a way to end your season, right, against Highland and Rigby. And a 7-point loss to Highland, and then they took a thumping from Rigby, 42-0. But that's how Madison finished up the season last year. Both teams, again, looking to get things going here as this game, again, we've said it multiple times, a broken record, that this looks very similar to the game last year.
Yeah, Madison, it's tough being in the district they're in, man. You know, Highland and Rigby both being in your district, such, you know, storied programs. Obviously, Rigby's had the more recent success. Really, it's a difficult district, and they've got to try and win those games. I mean, they kept it to a 1-score game against Highland last year. It was, you know, close, could have come down to just a couple of, you know, changes in turnovers. But really, Madison's got to be hanging, you know, hold their head high. I think they've got a lot to build on this year. You know, they've got that, obviously, the new addition last year, their offensive coordinator, Gino Mariani. Sorry. They've got some pieces here that I think could build in the right direction, even with their tough district.
Yeah, they, again, really a 4-team district. You've got them, you've got Highland, Rigby, and then Thunder Ridge. And, you know, Idaho Falls comes and goes based on fluctuations, and eventually the conference will get bigger, and it'll be an interesting thing to look at, right? Because eventually Skyline's going to come up. They are not going to stay a 4A forever.
I would assume Hillcrest will probably do the same, you know, not too long. Yeah.
As the years go, these other schools are going to grow as Idaho grows, and it's only a matter of time before we see more of these schools moving up to 5A. So we come to the close of halftime. Once again, we want to thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching the Next Steps Idaho Halftime Show. If you're thinking about what's next for your career or education, Next Steps Idaho can help bring you closer to the life you want to lead. And again, I mentioned it before, when you came into the broadcast, you saw the power boosters right there listed for each school. You're watching this game, right? You didn't log in, you didn't pay anything. Producing all this content on Idaho, you know, consuming it is free, but it's not free to produce it, right? So we live off of these great sponsors. So if you are in need of something and you see these businesses listed, use them. Go to them, use them. You need a car, you need a meal, whatever it is. You see somebody listed there, be sure to acknowledge that when you go into, say, hey, thanks for supporting high school sports and coverage on IdahoSports.com, because, like I said, we literally can't be here without them. As halftime now completed, again, Madison received the opening kickoff. So the opening kickoff now for the half is going to go over to Owyhee, who's going to start on this right side of the field. Again, we mentioned it. We barely saw anybody use that side of the field.
The left side of the field is going to be a little worn down, so hopefully we see a little bit more action here on the right side. Madison, to close out that first half, got a great stop. Could have otherwise been disaster for them if Owyhee had scored there and received the ball here. So looking forward to seeing Madison's defense back out again against this Owyhee offense as they try and get something going again like they did on the last drive.
And number 18 is back to receive, Logan Husline.
So here you go. Madison's going to kick it off. And they kind of squibbed this one low, bouncing around. Ball still out. Nobody has it yet. A dog pile, I think. Owyhee has it based on the reactions, and they do.
Madison was really trying to take advantage of some of those week 0 miscues. Was hoping they could get an easy one there. And thankfully for the Owyhee faithful, they were able to come up with it.
So I have this friend. Like I said, I live in Middleton, and I taught this kid like in youth groups and stuff growing up, and tonight was his first start on varsity for Middleton. They're playing Rocky. And I said, don't do anything fancy, please. His mom just texted me he had a pick 6. You got to be kidding me, man. I wanted to see it. Would have been awesome. So congrats, Weston, as that one runs up the middle here for Owyhee as they get it going. And great field position. You know, that type of kick can go either way. It can either get you the ball back, or it can, on the opposite end, get the other team great field position. And now Owyhee already down to the 38.
Yeah, great opening play call there. Just trying to get your running back running downhill, get him with some momentum going. That's one of the challenges with running spread is you want to get your running back as full speed as possible when they hit that line of scrimmage. And they were able to do it there. Got a few yards.
So 2nd down and 4 yards to go now here for Owyhee. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Here's a run, some room, and a first down going to be picked up by Owyhee. That's Timothy Jamerson.
Yeah, Madison's defensive line had a great first half, everything except for that last drive. And Owyee's coming out trying to establish this line of scrimmage here. Madison's got to try and tighten that up slightly. Try and see if they can slow down this running attack.
So 1st and 10 now, under 11 minutes, 10:50 to go, 3rd quarter. Same play, Madison all over it though. A host of Bobcats in the backfield that time. Looked like one of the first ones in there was Bryce Dredge. He's been all over the place as well as linebacker position.
Kind of those fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. You know, they ran that play 3 times in a row, and Madison finally decided we've had enough. We're going to sniff this thing out quickly.
And now here's your chance. If you're Owyhee, do you
we go fourth?
Do you go for the 4th, and or you go over the top when you're expecting Madison to bite? 2nd and 11, and here's a throw right side, and caught but wrapped up immediately. Reception brought down by number 6, Ryan Brecky. Brought down immediately.
Looked like that might have been Bryce Dredge again on the tackle in space. That's what you got to be able to do here on these spread teams. And now you've got 3rd and long for the Madison defense. Owyhee picked up a quick first down there, and Madison decided to tighten up on the defensive side of the ball.
So you can tell it's 3rd down. I don't need to tell you by the shaking of the camera. But it's 3rd down and 9 yards to go for Owyhee. 9.5 minutes to go here, 3rd quarter. They'll look to pass, and that one just at the feet. Looked like maybe he made the wrong throw, as kind of with open hands there was Aiden Joy saying I was open, and he was right there around the 45-yard line. It would have been a first down.
Yeah, it's a great play call by Owyhee. They just, unfortunately, Matt Irwin just wasn't able to find the right receiver there. Receiver hadn't quite broke on his route yet. Great defensive stop here by Madison. Looks like they're going to get the ball back after only a couple minutes going off the clock. They're going to have plenty of time to try and put together a drive.
So this will be the first punt for Owyhee. And a fair catch called for. Ball goes over, and it takes a great Owyhee bounce, and it's going to be down around, they're going to say at the 9-yard line. So somehow we've only had 2 punts in this game, and the score is 7-3. couple of turnovers, going for it on 4th down, not getting it. And both punts come on the first drive of each half for both teams. So Madison now starts all the way back at the 9-yard line. The Bobcats have 91 yards in front of them to go to pay dirt, 9:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Logan, but I think this is the worst field position Madison's had so far this game. Hawaii's got to be feeling pretty happy with that punt and see if they can get a stop here.
Yeah, on a legit drive, right? They had the interception, but I mean that was around the 20 where it came down with it when all was said and done. But Madison, that one a low throw, but it's caught and maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage is Beck.
Yeah, it was a great play by Jack Young on the defensive line for Owyhee. To be able to get out there and make a tackle in space as a defensive lineman, that's pretty impressive. He's able to hold him to not even really a gain at all. Going to be second and really long.
8:45 to go, 3rd quarter. It'll be 2nd and 10. No gain on that play. Torgerson has 2 backs with him there, and Beck is stood up immediately. Looks like number 34 for Owyhee was the first one on that hit. That's Gage Hawes, the junior, again, all conference a year ago for Hawes.
Yeah, Owyhee decided to dial up some pressure, brought some pressure off the edge there, and they guessed right and was able to sniff that out pretty quickly.
So now it'll be 3rd and 10. This is a dangerous spot. We saw what Madison did on their one punt. It was bad, to put it bluntly. Shanked it out of bounds. The Bobcats really are backed up right now. They'll throw deep. This one into traffic and dropped right at the 30. Hit the receiver right in the hands.
Oh, man, if you are Owyhee, you got to be feeling pretty lucky there. There was a wide open receiver.
Crew Mortensen. He just couldn't bring it in, hit him in the hands. And that's the one he would like to have back.
Definitely. This defense, again, Owyee's played pretty good defense so far this game, other than in some short fields. They're going to get this ball back pretty quickly.
So Madison will punt from their own end zone. This one will have to be better. They'll roll it out, and it's not much better. It's a little bit better, but that one goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And again, Madison, a bad punt, gives phenomenal field position to Owyhee. So that's one thing Owyhee could just never get was, you see this in defensive games, right, where it becomes a field position game and you wait for a mistake. And that whole first half, Madison had the advantage on the field position. Nobody could flip the field. Owyhee gets decent field position on their drive. They don't score, but they flip the field on the punt. And now all of a sudden a mistake is made by Madison and Owyhee knocking on the door of the red zone.
Yeah, shortest field so far for them. They've got to be feeling pretty excited. They're hoping to have a little bit better drive than last. They only got 1 first down on their last drive.
Here's a run right side. This time it's Cade Walker on the carry. A couple of bodies in there for Madison.
Yeah, Walker looks like a little bit more of a power back for the Owyhee team. Trying to kind of establish this run game again. They got it going the end of the first half. They added a little bit on their last drive until they got stalled out. Madison defense here is really, their defensive line's got to try and gain this line of scrimmage back.
Here's a run up the middle, still dancing around and room on the right side. He's going to take it in for a touchdown. Owyhee gets on the board first here in the second half, and the Storm have taken the lead back.
Again, it looked like Madison had him dead to rights. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to wrap him up and make that tackle. Matt Irwin's got to be feeling pretty good after that fumble he had in the first half. He's now been able to lead his team back to a lead here. They're going to most likely go up 10-7 here, which is pretty awesome. They got to be feeling pretty good here offensively. They can keep that control of the ball and the possession.
So at the 6:51 mark here of the third quarter, Owyhee is able to score on a 25-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good, and the Storm have taken a 10-7 lead here on Madison, as both offenses, the points have come from mistakes down on the other end. And now all of a sudden, Owyhee is going to have a chance to kick it deep. And, you know, if their defense can come up with another stop, all of a sudden they might have an opportunity for another easy score.
Yeah, if you're Madison here, you don't want to get too aggressive. They've had some, you know, obviously there's been some turnovers so far in this game. That's how they scored their first points. But Madison's just got to get back to the roots of their offense. Try and establish the run. Try and see if they can get the ball in the hands of, you know, Barkley Beck and see if they can get the ball moving there. But really, Hawaii's kind of turned this game completely around. They've had a couple mistakes, but other than that, have played fairly well so far in the last few minutes of play.
So Madison set to receive deep. And so far, these kicks have all been blasted through the end zone. And we'll see if Gamet can do it once again here for Owyhee. This one is gonna do the same thing, just go right on back. So Madison will take over at the 20-yard line. So again, both of Hawaii's scores, they have 10 points, both of them coming off of poor punts for Madison. Both on this left side of the field where Madison just, the first punt went to the line of scrimmage. That one went about 10 yards, 12 yards, and went out at the 25. 2 plays later, Hawaii's in for 6. First and 10 Bobcats. This one will go up the right side and across for a 6-yard gain. Good run there by Torgerson. But again, this is kind of how the Madison offense has operated the last few years, where the quarterback has to do a lot of work, and right now Torgerson's going to have to do something here to kind of provide a spark.
Yeah, the Madison offense really needs something. Hawaii's defensive line's played fairly well. They've really kind of owned this line of scrimmage. And, yeah, just they're going to try and get another stop here, but good first down.
2nd and 4. Here's a pitch out to the right. And no room to run. Swallowed up first on the tackle there for Owyhee, number 48, Jack Young.
Yeah, tried to get the ball in the hands of their playmaker, Beck, and unfortunately it was sniffed out pretty quickly. Hawaii's done a really good job after a couple miscues in the first half of tackling as a team, making those tackles in space, which you've got to be able to do against a team with some playmakers like Madison.
So 3rd down, Madison needs this first down just to give the defense a break. Their defense has been on the field for a long time. And that ball goes down. They're able to pick it up, spins out, but nothing there. They'll lose 2 yards. Down goes Torgerson, and it'll be 4th down for Madison.
Oh, man. Last couple punts have not gone well for Madison. They need one to go deep here. Otherwise, Hawaii's going to have awesome field position yet again.
So Jake Rhodes in there to punt now for Madison. As the Bobcats try to get some personnel set up here. No, he won't putt. Looks like that Porter Cottle, I believe, back there. And this one, there's a better kick. This one will land and go out of bounds right at midfield. That's where the official will mark it. So a much better punt, but still great field position here for the Storm.
Yeah, they went away from that rugby-style kind of scramble outside punt. And that one got them a little bit better result, but Owyhee still, yeah, is going to have a short field here. And if their offense can keep clicking like they have the last couple of possessions, Madison's going to have their hands full.
4:36 to go here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 Owyhee right at midfield as the Storm will look to put some more points on the board here. It would be very ironic if this game ends at 13-7 again, which is not out of the realm of possibility. Here's a handoff, and Madison swarms it. First one on the tackle there, number 50. That's Ismael Figueroa. Big man had the interception to end the first half on that deflected ball.
Yeah, great job by the defensive line of Madison. Had great gap responsibility there. Was able to handle that run play pretty easily. And if they can keep that up, Owyee's going to have to go back to the pass. And we haven't seen a ton of success so far in this half.
2nd and 11, ball at the 49. And they'll go right side this time, sneaking through, getting past the first contact and down to the 42-yard line. So we'll pick up of about 9. They'll say 43-yard line, so a pickup of 8. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it was a great job by Owyhee. Great play call. Pulled a tackle from the backside. As a former offensive lineman myself, I love when you can get some of these offensive linemen leading.
And he did a great job following. He followed that blocker.
Followed that block. It was awesome. 3rd and short here.
They'll keep it, same thing, Madison, and he busts through the contact for an extra 6 yards and a first down. Looked like he was stopped right there at the 42-yard line and wasn't going to get the first down. He comes all the way out down to the 34 and a big first down for Owyhee.
Madison had him. They had him tackled, most likely with at most maybe a yard gained. But unfortunately, wasn't able to hold him down. And Owyhee, is going to have another first down here, and they're on like the 36. They're moving the ball pretty easily now.
Yeah, Cade Walker on the rush there. He's had a couple of good runs right here for the Storm on this possession. So a fresh set of downs for Owyhee. Here's a throw into traffic. That one incomplete. Intended for Ryan Brecky.
If you go all the way back to the first couple possessions for both these teams, they couldn't really establish much with the run. Owyhee even was completing some decent passes, but couldn't get anything going with the run, and it seems to have almost flip-flopped now. Their run game has really kind of set the tone for them. They haven't completed anything really downfield. Looking to just keep the ball moving with the run game, most likely.
So 2nd and 10 off that incompletion. Irwin look to throw again. He's under pressure, and there comes a sack. 2 different Bobcats in there, but the one with the heavy pressure, that was number 30, Bryce Dredge.
I was wondering when it was going to happen again, Logan. They hadn't dialed up any pressure for the last couple possessions. They blitzed a couple times right at the end of the first half, and they hadn't blitzed in a while. And when they needed it, they got it. That was a big sack for the Madison Bobcat defense.
And now this brings up 3rd and 21 for Owyhee, and that is exactly what Madison needed, because if Owyhee doesn't pick up a couple of yards, they are not in field goal range anymore. If they could have just picked up 5 or 6 on a 3rd and 10, they're well within range. Here comes the throw from Irwin. He'll drift right, in danger again. This pass is caught and out of bounds, and a nice wrap-up tackle on the outside, knocking him out of bounds. Number 52 on the tackle there, Cash Summers. And Summers, I think, by doing that, has now pushed Owyhee out of field goal range.
Yeah, Owyhee, I think, is going to punt now. They have a great kicker in Gamet, but unfortunately weren't able to get enough to get it into field goal range.
And they needed to be up probably around the 35 to attempt that. And this punt, this is a good kick. It's going to drop at the 12, and it's going to run into the back of the end zone. And if you're Madison, you're saying, I'm glad that punt didn't kick back like the last one did. We saw one earlier from Owyhee that landed around the 10 and just kind of popped straight up in the air. That one had a little forward momentum rolling out of bounds.
Yeah, that was kind of a gamble by Beck, but he gambled and he won there. So they're going to get decent field position. They won't be backed up too far. And Madison has got to get something going on offense, or Owyhee again is going to get the ball right back and keep running time off the clock.
So the Bobcats a chance to get back on top here as the defense holds. Torgerson goes to the outside, and a catch is made but wrapped up immediately. And guess who's there first? Tyler Frazier. He has been all over the place outside tonight.
Been really impressed with these DBs from Owyhee tonight, Logan. They've made a lot of tackles in space. Both number 3, Matt Rogers, and Tyler Frazier. They've just done a really, really good job in space, making these tackles. Frazier kind of plays a hybrid linebacker, nickel back, and he's just made some really, really great plays in space against this Madison defense.
It's very windy out there right now. It's kind of hard to tell on the screen. And this pass is knocked in the air, and Owyhee's got it. This one's picked off, and he's going to go all the way for the end zone. Touchdown, Owyhee! Picked off by number 34, Gage Hawes, on a hit on the quarterback, and Owyhee has just taken a 16-7 lead.
Completely flipped the script from the first half, Logan. The Madison Bobcats got a couple easy turnovers in the first half that really was able to allow them to score. And now Owyee's gotten a couple turnovers of their own that have just completely turned this game around.
When you see the ball fluttering like that, the defense is just sharks in the water, right? Blood in the water. The Sharks are ready, and Hawes pounces on that one, sees the goal line, gets just across and in for a touchdown, and all of a sudden a 2-score lead for the Storm, which at this point might possibly be the way the offense is run for Madison. This is a very comfortable. You got to be feeling good if you're Owyhee.
100%, Logan. Their defensive line got some pressure there. I wasn't able to see who actually made the hit on the quarterback there, but some great pressure from Owyhee. Got the turnover, got the score, and now Madison, unfortunately, is going to have to walk right back out there on offense and try and see if they can bring this game a little bit closer.
Well, about a 15-yard interception return for Gage Hawes. Again, the all-conference player from a year ago. He's just a junior for Owyhee. I mean, you look up and down the Owyhee roster, and there's lots of 10s, lots of 11s. There are some 12s. But again, I mean, Owyhee, a new school. If you're not familiar with them, they only opened, this is their 3rd year. But other sports at Owyhee have been extremely successful. Andy Harrington, the head basketball coach, has led a phenomenal Owyhee Storm basketball team, won a state championship in their first year, played lights out last year. The baseball team has gone back-to-back. The softball team won it last year, too. Just a lot of good athletes and coaches there at Owyhee High School. This one's booted, and that one's going to go out the back of the end zone once again, and it's almost like somebody popped a balloon in here, just deflated. But you can see there on the flag, about 20 miles per hour winds coming from right to left as you see it. We're inside the box. It's not very, there's no conditions in here except my seat is too soft and the air conditioner is too cool. Those are our problems, but conditions got to be hard right now going from left to right like Madison is. Bobcats got to get something going here. A little miscommunication on that play as Torgerson wanted to hand it off, but Beck was blocking and didn't want the ball, and could have been a lot worse. They pick up about half a yard.
Ooh, yeah, that could have been really, really bad for Madison again. Down 10 points to fumble again inside your own 20. Could have spelled disaster. Thankfully, they held on to it, and he actually gained a yard here. So Madison's just got to, I think, slow things down, trying to see if they can establish the run game and start working their quick passes again like they were in the first half, and try and start moving this ball.
2nd and 9. And they're just before the horn. Madison's got a different quarterback in there as that one thrown and incomplete. Right now in is Jet Summers, who took that last snap. As that does it for the 3rd quarter. We will head to the 4th and final quarter of play here from Madison High School in Rexburg. Let's take a second to thank Taylor Chevrolet, one of our great local sponsors here for tonight's game.
Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support Madison Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is home of oil changes for life. That's right. Buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at www.taylorchevrolet.com.
Again, if you want to be a sponsor and some sort of IdahoSports.com, just give me an email. It's Logan@IdahoSports.com if you want to get involved. And I'm just checking in on some scores. In the fourth quarter, Coeur d'Alene leads Rigby right now 27-14. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, including myself. I was not expecting that. But Coeur d'Alene in the coaches poll, some people had them as low as third behind Post Falls. Can't remember who Lake City was last. So here we go. Madison looking to throw. This one popped up in the air again, and they're going to say it's a fumble. Can Owyhee get to it? They do. The Storm have it inside the 5-yard line as the ball knocked away from the quarterback, and Madison, the turnover bug, has caught the Bobcats, and Owyhee is feasting on it.
Unfortunately, quarterback Jet Summers just didn't see the pressure coming and hit him hard enough that even though he was attempting to throw it, the ball was moving backwards, and a huge, huge turnover for the Madison Bobcats that's got to be feeling like the wheels are coming off as Owyhee now is knocking on the door. They could potentially go up, 2, almost 3 scores now if they're not careful.
And that was Tyler Frazier who got the fumble recovery. He had to run a long way to get that ball. And he was back around the 20-yard line. And it wasn't that I need to beat the Madison player. It's I got to beat the ball from going out of bounds. Because if that ball goes out of bounds, the play's over and Madison will just take over. He had to rush to get that thing. And now, first and goal here, 11 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Owyhee knocking on the door. Ball is down, and Irwin gets back on his feet, and he's brought down. So Owyhee, a little bad snap there for them. They're able to get away with it, but they do lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, every yard Madison can get here as a defense, they will take. Unfortunately, they are still well within Gamut's range for a field goal here if they do have to attempt a field goal.
Second and goal. Here's a rush up the middle, and Madison all over it. Nowhere to go. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be third and goal. Porter Cottle on the tackle again for Madison.
This is looking like the Madison defensive line from the first half. Really trying to shut down that run game, and we're going to get a timeout, looks like, from Owyhee.
I mean, the name of the game, though, here is turnovers. I mean,
100%.
there is no other way to put it. Honestly, it'd be 0-0 if it weren't for turnover. I mean, seriously, because Madison, right? We've said it a couple of times, right? Madison got a fumble recovery inside the 20, they score. 2 bad punts inside the 30 for Owyhee, they take advantage of the score. A pick 6, they score. I mean, it is turnovers that have led to this lead for Owyhee.
Yeah, turnovers in high school football, but really just about any kind of football, are the name of the game. If you can win the turnover battle against your opponent, you're going to have a much better chance of winning the ball game. And the interesting thing is the turnover margin's pretty even right now. Both teams have turned the ball over a couple of times, but Owyee's been able to take advantage of it and knocking on the door once again.
Yeah, you think about it, Owyhee could have actually had more points, but they turned the ball over at the end of the first half. But now the Storm knocking on the door. Third and goal. Ball sits right there at the 8-yard line. Irwin in the shotgun. Irwin throws right. This one caught. Screen pass in the middle and down, I think, at the 1. I don't think they got in. That one was caught across the middle. That was a slant, not a screen.
It was a great play call. He was able to get some downfield blockers there after he caught the ball, but just couldn't quite punch it in. Looks like they might try and go for it.
Yeah, in this position, I think you say, you know what, Madison, I'll let you go 99 yards if I'm not able to punch this in. But I would be shocked if anybody holds this ball outside of Matt Irwin on this play. Here's a snap. Irwin keeps it, and he goes in for a touchdown.
Logan, you did your best Tony Romo impression there and called the play before it even happened. It was a great play call by Owyhee. Put the ball in the hands of your playmaker, Matt Irwin. He's had an awesome game. Outside of that one fumble, like we mentioned in the first half, he has played lights out.
2 touchdown runs for Irwin. He's got a 25-yard touchdown run in the third quarter and now a 1-yard rush here in the fourth as Owyhee has really turned it on. They lead it 23-7 and whistles blow.
Maybe a false start here.
So it'll move back. I don't think that's too much of a problem for Nathan Gamet from what we've seen. But he is kicking into the wind.
That 20-mile-an-hour wind might affect him slightly. He might only be able to kick from the 30 going this direction.
If there's anywhere in the state where you'll see a ball just get hung up in the air, it's right here at Madison. And that one, a lot of pressure back. I thought maybe somebody might get to it, but that one was right down the middle. When it hit the net and bounced back, it hit that mid-post that holds up the goalpost. Right down the middle for Gamet, no problem. 24-7, Owyhee in control right now. I want to thank you for tuning in to East Idaho Game Night, presented by Ermac Pediatrics as well as Teton Auto Group, as we look across the way at the Owyhee fans that made the trip. Maybe they can, maybe we can just leave your truck here, Paul, and we can just hitch a ride with one of them back. At least I'll go with them, since they're not too far from me. I live in the Treasure Valley. Owyehee's just down the road.
Yeah, that's some dedication out of both the Owyhee fans and you and Paul this evening, Logan.
Yeah, I mean,
make
MVPs,
it all the way out here.
MVPs are all of us. We're going to be tearing up I-84 tonight. It is very funny because I've done games over here, and I've driven back. Last year it was Thunder Ridge and Middleton. And I'm driving back, and I stopped at the Loves there in Burley. And sure enough, there's like 5 people in there with Middleton clothes on. And it's like we're all in this together. You know, we're all just driving back across. And here's the kickoff. This one, the first time not through. And Madison will get it across the 20, so it's already a better play. And room to run here across the 35. And that right there is why those touchbacks are so beneficial, as now all of a sudden Madison in great field position.
Again, puts it into perspective. Gamet, when he was kicking with the wind, everything was almost to the back fence, kicking the other direction, but kicking this way, only kicked it to about the 2 or 3 yard line. Shows you how much that wind is affecting play, and now that Madison's playing with the wind, I'm sure they're hoping they can maybe start completing a few more passes downfield.
That was Tanner Johnson on the return there. He gets it all the way out just shy of the 40, about a 38-yard return. As you're right, the wind is probably the reason for that. Here's a throw across the middle. It's caught and brought down at the 20. A great catch at the 40 and an immediate tackle there by Hostveit.
Yeah, we were watching the Madison Bobcats warm up, and we were surprised, I guess, to see. It looks like they had a couple of quarterbacks warming up, and we're now seeing that second quarterback, Jet Summers. He came out last possession and unfortunately got some pressure that led to a fumble recovery by Owyhee, but great completion there over the middle.
And sometimes you see this when you're trying to get a new quarterback, you got to figure out who is the next quarterback. 1st and 10. Summers back across the middle. That one knocked away Good defense there by Gage Hawes, who has been all over the place.
Yep, had that interception return for a touchdown. And is dropping back into coverage. It's a great play there by the Owyhee defense.
So 2nd and 10. Time is not on the side of Madison right now, as we are now at the 9-minute and 39-second mark. Bobcats have got to score a couple of times here. They're going to do it quickly. Down 3 scores right now. There's a handoff up the middle. Lots of room to run. And an ankle tackle by Owyhee might have saved even more yardage. But a great run that time by number 2, Jake Rhodes.
I love the play calls so far for Madison. We're going to take advantage of those crossing routes over the middle and then try and run the occasional halfback draw here to see if we can get some chunk plays. Like you mentioned, Logan, there's only 9 minutes left. They've got to try and get a score here quick and then get a defensive stop.
Summers waits the snap. He'll hand it off. A lot of room on the right side to run. Across the 20, down to the 15. And on the move all of a sudden is Madison, the best drive of the night by the Bobcats, as they are now inside the red zone. Down to the 14-yard line. As a little spark coming in here from Jet Summers. Out, he fumbled. It's hard to blame him on that.
Yeah,
he just got really lit up. Yep. And, blindside hit. Ball came out, and this time he's regathered himself, and Madison's on the move. And a timeout's going to be called here by Owyhee. They want to talk about it as they are kind of on their heels right now.
Yeah, if you're the Owyhee defense, you love that Madison's trying to run the ball, but unfortunately, if Madison's going to get 15 or 20 yards a carry, you definitely don't want that. And so I'm sure they're having a conversation here of trying to slow down this running attack so that they can try and take as much time off the clock as possible.
So again, tonight, week 0, next week, week 1 of the season, and we have, gosh, I don't know, 15 broadcasts, something like that, lined up next week. The Rocky Mountain Rumble will be right here at Madison High School, where you can watch a ton of football, either live here in the stands or right here on IdahoSports.com. We'll have every game from the Rocky Mountain Rumble. That, of course, an event that brings some of the best schools from around the state together here to play teams from Utah and California. As, just a stacked lineup, including Rigby will play at home. They play their one game of the Rumble down in Rigby. So here's a run up the middle again. 4 yards picked up. It'll be 2nd and about 6.
Yeah, definitely an improvement defensively over the previous two carries, from the Madison Bobcats. And Owyehee's got to try and slow down this attack a little bit. They've got a pretty large cushion here, but if Madison scores quickly, things could start turning around.
So a timeout going to be called here on the field. I believe Madison's going to take it. They let a lot of time burn out, and that's a timeout that they might wish they had back instead of using it at the 8:25 mark. But you mentioned it. If they score here, they need to get a defensive stop, and that's something that Madison's been able to do. I mean, all of these scores have come on
short fields.
Every single one. One's a pick six. One they start at the 25. One they start at the 5. Yep. Those are the 3 touchdowns for Owyhee.
Yep.
They get an interception, run it back. They start at the 5-yard line, and then they start at the 25. And it was a one run to the right side, and they score it. And really, that's it. And, I mean, just this right now, if they were able to punch it in, would be the first drive that we've seen where they started inside their own territory and worked their way down the field. But now on the opposite, if you're Owyhee and they do score here, you're still up 2 scores. I mean, you're still up by at least 2 scores. And if you can get the ball back and eat up 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, it's going to be awfully hard for Madison. Summers rolls to his left, Looking, throwing wide open in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Madison. I mean, all alone back there was number 82 for the Bobcats, Lucas Franson, the sophomore with the score.
Yeah, great play call. One of the benefits of having a southpaw quarterback is you can roll out to the left. And so they drew up. They had several different routes at different levels. And, yeah, that receiver just was able to kind of sneak in the back of the end zone. Great pass by Jet Summers there.
It's not a situation where you need to go for two because no matter what, you're still three. This will be a two-score game. No need to cause any more harm as here's the kick. It's up. It looks good. We'll wait for the arms. It is good. And that makes it 24-14 as Madison gets it closer. The fireworks go up. You know, if you're watching this game from the Treasure Valley, you're an Owyhee fan, and you've never been here to Madison or you're watching from anywhere, I'm going to say this is the best facility in the state. I mean,
amazing.
I'm sorry, it is. It is. They have an incredible press box, an incredible field, stands. Over to the left, you can't really see it. We're zooming in. That is an indoor practice facility. Yep. All teams can use it, right? It has a full-size field in it, but it's marked off. You'll see baseball and softball practice in there.
Yep.
All sorts of teams can use that. And you need that here. I mean, when you get – if you're in the Treasure Valley and you've never been to East Idaho, this place is I lived in Rexburg for a few years, and it is completely different. It is always cold. The wind is always blowing from, November to April, and it's not like the Treasure Valley where you're getting days in the 50s all winter long. So they need it, and this is a phenomenal facility.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, the facilities are so nice, they rent them out to the college students here in town. College students love using their indoor field house, so it's an awesome spot.
So this kick is going to go back, and it's touched in the field of play, and it goes out. It wouldn't really matter. It's a kickoff, but good kick. They use the wind there to their advantage, and a touchback. So 80 yards now separates Owyhee and Pay Dirt, but Madison going to come out there. I would expect to see a little bit of pressure here. They got to come up with something and fast, but at the same time, Madison would be just fine with a 3-and-out right here. There would be nothing better for the Bobcat. Oh, besides a turnover.
Definitely.
But you couldn't beat a 3-and-out for them.
No, and I expect them to dial up some pressure. Maybe not here on first down, but I expect some pressure to be coming. Owyee's just going to try and run some clock off, I would assume.
Here we go. Here's a keeper by Irwin, and he rumbles forward, and that is exactly what you want if you're Owyhee. You don't pick up the first down. You get, 9 yards, and that is just, you can now run another play no matter what. You don't have to worry about anything special for second, and if you need a third down, you can just keep with the same thing, run it up the middle, and eat some clock.
Yeah, it was a great push by the offensive line of Owyhee. Madison tried to walk some people up into the box there, and they just were able to get a good run there from their quarterback, who's had an awesome game so far.
Irwin snaps it. Handoff up the middle, and a first down picked up here. Cade Walker, again, Walker has played well back there. They've used a couple of different running backs. Jamerson has also been in there. But I think Walker has been the more nimble back. He has found the blockers. He has found the holes, and he's been able to pick up some good yardage here tonight.
Yeah, Owyhee, they've got to love what they're seeing so far. I expect, a couple more minutes to run off this clock if they can keep this up.
7 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Irwin hands it off, this time up to the right, and a pickup of about 3 yards. That time, once again, on the carry is Cade Walker.
Yeah, Madison's got to find something here defensively on the defensive line. They've been on the field a lot the last 2 quarters, but I think they've really got to try and get something going here, whether it's some pressure they got to dial up or do some stunts. I'm not sure exactly what they got to try, but They've got to do something here to try and get a stop.
And a flag here.
Looked like one of Madison's players might have been lined up. Oh, okay, good.
So a false start here for Madison, or excuse me, for Owyhee. And if you're Madison, you love that. The clock just stopped. You move them back, and now it's second, and instead of 7, it's 2nd and 12. And again, going back to the facilities here at Madison, the officials have that microphone. There are so many times where we are at a game and we don't know maybe what the call is, or we can't get an explanation. We just have to think we're guessing correctly, and not here. You get to hear it. Everybody in the stands does. 6.5 minutes to go now as they restart the clock. And they'll be off. False start again, as that time number 10, Cam Givens, took off. As now all of a sudden it's 2nd and 17.
Yeah, Madison's obviously got to love this.
Now this is why I wish that this wasn't they start the clock again, right? Theoretically, could Owyhee just hey, you know what? We're gonna false start our way into a 2nd and 50, but we're gonna eat up a ton of time doing it.
Yeah, that is true. Madison's got to be thinking about using one of them timeouts here shortly, I would think.
This time handoff goes left side. Nowhere to run, and he's wrapped up by a couple of Bobcats. First one in there on the tackle. Once again, Porter Cottle. He's been all over the place for Madison.
Yeah, it's a great tackle. Defensive line for Madison's finally starting to get a little bit of a push, get some pressure here. Looks like they're hoping to keep this 3rd and long and turn it into a 4th and long, so they can hopefully get the ball back here with, just under 5 minutes probably left.
So, yeah, 5:15 to go. You're going to get the shaking camera here on 3rd down. An incompletion would be Madison's perfect scenario, as back to passes Irwin, and that one knocked away. Intended for number 6, Ryan Breck, but knocked away, and now it's 4th down.
You called it, Logan. That's what they needed. They needed an incompletion badly, needed something to stop the clock. Unfortunately, false starts don't do that, as we learned. So they needed that incompletion. They got it. And now there's going to be 5 minutes roughly left when they get the ball back, and that's plenty of time to go down and score and try and get another stop.
5:04 to go. This is not over.
Nope.
This is not over, and the punt is going to go into the wind right now. And you see it kind of gets hung up, short kick, and it's caught. And there it is. I was waiting for the flag. He didn't mean to hurt him, but he did. He ran right into the returner. It was clearly down on the ground. We should see a extra 15 yards, and Owyehe's asking with open palms, what did I do? But he did hit him. And that's he was on the ground.
Might have been almost a stumble there. I don't know if he really meant to do it.
I don't think he did.
He did.
It's just one of those. It happened. I mean, you see it in the NFL, right? It's if you hit, or college football, right? Targeting. That's the big rule. And I didn't mean to hit him with the way he turned, and but it is what it is. And right there, you hit him down on the ground. Maybe he thought it was a fumble and wanted to get down, but he was clearly on the ground for at least 2 Mississippis there. And now Madison, all of a sudden, is inside the 40. It'll be 1st and 10 Bobcats, ball at the 38-yard line.
All the time left in the world. Madison really has their full playbook, in my opinion, still available. Should be able to move the ball here with just about anything they want.
Here's a shot left side, wide open, caught at the 20. And Madison inside the red zone after that reception on the left by Jabin Ball.
Great play call. Little double move, pump faked on the underneath route that froze that cornerback. And he found Yeah, his receiver wide open there. It was a great play call and well executed by Jet Summers, that left-handed quarterback that's come in this second half.
I made the mistake of saying that Owyhee's got to be feeling pretty good, because right now I don't think anybody's feeling good for the Storm, as Madison knocking on the door, 4:50 to go. They fake it. Summers goes right, but a whole host of Storm right there, and they'll bring him down for no gain. Clock is running.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love that play call there. I think they need to keep it. Let Jet use his arm. If we're going to hand the ball off, I think we need to probably try and get it in the hands of Beck or one of their other running backs. We'll see here what they try to do. It's going to be 2nd and long, and they're definitely in scoring range. They're here in the red zone, but got to try and look for a pass here, I would assume. Jet Summers is out.
So back in, yeah. Torgerson is in, and he's feeling the heat. He'll scramble, cuts inside, gains some yards, but he's down to about the 14-yard line before he's wrapped up, a gain of about 5 yards.
Madison's got to hurry here, I think.
Yeah, there's no time to, there's time, but you don't have any to waste.
Nope.
And a play like that is not what they want, so Summers comes back in.
I worry they're eating too much clock here, shifting so many personnel.
3.5 minutes to go here from Madison High School. Summers in the shotgun. He waits for the snap. He'll roll to his left. He's got a receiver wide open, and it's dropped in the end zone. Javen Ball was going to score easily, and he drops the ball with 3:12. It's now 3rd down. Madison had a score right there, and that would have really made things interesting.
Could have brought it to one score. Could have brought it to just a field goal is all that would have separated them with 3 minutes left. But unfortunately, just couldn't complete it there.
Sorry, that is 4th down. So that was a 3rd down play. So Madison is going to kick the field goal. The ball is spotted at the 14. The kick will come from the 21. So this will be a 31-yard field goal. This will make it a one-score game. The snap is low. They're going to have to run it. Trying to get the edge, and he gets across the 10. He's going to be right there. I think he has the 1st down. They needed the 8.5, and they are right there. Well, I'm sure we're going to have a measurement here. But that was they did not plan that fake. I don't think so. The ball was bouncing on the ground. I think he has it. To see if we can see the ball. Yep, there it is. They'll make the long trek across. So again, what's on the line right here? This is huge. If they convert the 1st down, Madison still has a chance to score. If they don't, it's going to be tough for Madison here. They stretch out the chains. He has the 1st down.
Wow. Some Owyhee players were trying to protest. I don't know if there was some confusion down there, but
I mean, he clearly got across the 10-yard line. There's no question there. And, he was going out of bounds right there around that. So what a play by Madison. That ball was in the dirt, in the turf, and that would have been it. That effectively ends the game. 1 1st down, and they're done. And now all of a sudden they get the 1st down, back in business, 3:06 to go. Summers waits the snap. And the ball is down. Summers going to pick it up, and there's going to be a penalty flag thrown here and just throwing it down out of bounds as Madison just had to do everything possible to keep the defense away.
Some of those week 0 miscues again. There's been several low snaps on both teams, honestly. You can tell team just making a few small mistakes here.
So 10 yards back. And Madison going the wrong direction. As Summers dropped the snap, and that's just a couple in a row. We've seen here low snaps in the turf. And, you know, they bounce a little bit more here in the turf rather than on a grass field. You saw the field goal attempt bobble, but now nobody back. Trips up top, Twins to the left. Different quarterback in now again as this one's caught at the 10, and they stay in bounds as Torgerson came in, and it's a 2-goal situation right now. As now it'll be 2nd and goal from about the original line of scrimmage there at the 9-yard line.
I think Madison's got to get plays in quicker here if they're going to try and score and get a stop.
So really it's just a wash after the penalty. Torgerson still is in. He'll roll right, and they throw, and honestly, that's probably better to go incomplete if you're Madison, because if you catch that, you're going down after a 2-yard gain and you're in play.
Totally.
That's just going to eat a lot of clock, and Owyehee's defense, credit to them on that. They were all over it. They knew it was coming, and there was nowhere to go for Madison.
Yeah, play calls here have got to be to the end zone at this point. You can't afford to run off any more clock. You have a couple of timeouts, but they're trying to save them. I think at this point, Madison's got to just take 2 shots here at the end zone on 3rd and 4th.
3rd and goal. Ball at the 9. Summers back in at quarterback. Clock is stopped. 2:23 to go. Summers waits. Another low snap. He'll roll left, and he's got a man open, and caught at the 5. And going to be wrapped up right there down to maybe the 4. But for half a second, wide open was Javen Ball. But Owyhee covered it up quickly. And now it's 4th down, so it'll be a decision here for Madison. Just kick the field goal and get the ball back, and I think that's what they're going to do. You have to score twice. You might as well take the one. If you go for it and miss it, it's over.
Kicker's getting ready. They're trying to hurry here.
So it'll come off the foot of number 47, Brayson Stoddard. Stoddard's kick is up, and that looks good. It is good. 24-7. Boots through the 25-yard field goal.
Cuts it to a 1-score game. Things are going to get really interesting here. If you traveled all the way from Owyhee, if you're here in Rexburg watching this game, or if you're watching on IdahoSports.com, if you didn't expect drama, you expected wrong here in week 0. This has been an awesome game.
Yeah, and this is what we expected. These two played a great game last year, and we didn't expect anything else. And, Owyhee really took advantage. They have taken – this game has been a game of who's taken the most advantage of turnovers and make the best of what they've been given. And so far, it is Owyhee. They have forced turnovers. They have taken advantage of those turnovers, and they lead it by 7 right now as Madison's going to – I think they're going to, and the timeout's going to be called here by Owyhee. What they want to do is that little dribble onside kick.
Yep. Trying to just get as many bodies as they can and just crash there in the middle, make sure the ball goes 10 yards, and just try and see if they can get lucky here. Which honestly, I like the play call, because at most, Owyee's probably going to get the ball somewhere around the 50-yard line. And you've got to get a stop no matter what. You either get the ball, which is awesome, or you're going to have to get a stop, which we kind of expected that's going to have to happen anyways. You got a couple timeouts. The goal now is just to try and see if they can recover this onside, see if they can catch Owyhee unprepared here.
And this is a new, more people have done this, teams where the kicker kind of just does this slight little kick and everybody rushes the ball. It gives all 10 of your players, besides the kicker, a chance to get at it rather than just, those 5 on that side. So here we go. Onside kick coming here from Madison. And they don't. They boot it deep, and it stays in play. Ball still on the ground and finally picked up at the 17. So Madison's going to trust their defense, which, to be honest, why not? I mean, they have done very well. The score doesn't indicate that their defense has played very well because all of those points have come on gifts. I mean, why he's taken advantage of them, but they've been gifted turnover. They forced them, but the offense hasn't gone on one of those long drives where it resulted in points so far tonight.
100%. I think the only thing Madison now is maybe slightly regretting is maybe some of their clock management in the last couple of drives. There's only a minute and a half left. They do have 2 timeouts, though.
So 135. There's the handoff and a gain of about 2 picked up there. No, we'll say 3. And a quick timeout. Again, 2 timeouts for Madison. They'll burn 1 here, so they'll have 1 remaining. So if all goes to script, it'll be 3rd down and however many yards for for Owyhee, and the clock will run on that 3rd down play.
Yeah, Owyhee just trying to run kind of that super power running game. They pulled a couple of guys, ran to the right side, just trying to chunk off as much time as possible here, even if they have to punt with 30 seconds left on the clock or less. They got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, 1:29 on the clock, so theoretically, this play, let's just say that's what they're going to run it up the middle. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Or they could go over the top and fool everyone. But, more than likely, they're going to run up the middle and eat up 5-6 seconds, so about 1:25 on the clock. Madison will call a timeout, and then, they'll have 2 plays to run 20. Madison's looking at maybe 30 seconds to get the ball back. And there is that rush up the middle. It goes for about 3 yards down to the 25. 1:24 on the clock. That is the final timeout for Madison. Owyhee also out of timeouts.
So, yeah, to go with your theory here, if Madison can hold them and Owyhee has to punt, they're most likely going to get the ball back with somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 seconds left, which hopefully, if you're a Madison hopeful, you're hoping that's enough time to try and get a few passes down the field and knot this game up.
Thanks for joining us here on IdahoSports.com. Again, come back during the week. Come back and check scores, see where everybody lines up tonight. You can check our standings page. We have a live standings page that updates as soon as the score goes final, and we put that in. You can check that at any time for any sport. So be sure to check back after a busy weekend of all other sports around the state. Lots of soccer this week. So there's the handoff, and this one going to be pulled back. Man, for a second there, I thought the Storm had the push, and the whistle will blow, or the end of the play. It is 1:10 on the clock. So now 4th down.
Looks like we're going to get the punt unit from Owyhee.
So 4th and 1. I thought they were going to get that 1st down for a second there. But, hey, the Madison defense holds. The offense is going to – time is ticking down to 40 seconds. Owyee's going to hold on to this thing as long as possible. And Madison's going to have a couple of shots at the end zone. Down within 5 seconds here for the snap. There it is. And this one hangs high. Fair catch called for and caught at the 44-yard line. 27 seconds to go for Madison. Crazier things have happened than having the ball right at the 44 and needing to score.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they try and dial up here. Looks like they're bringing Torgerson back in. They've kind of been doing some quarterback shuffle here in the 4th quarter, but Torgerson's in. I'm guessing they're going to try and run some deep routes, some deep out routes along the sidelines just to try and pick up a few yards, and they should be able to get 4 or 5 plays if they use the clock correctly.
So here we go. There's the snap. Torgerson taking a lot of time, and he can't take a sack right there, and he does. Madison's got to hurry down to 18 seconds. That is the absolute worst thing that could have happened to Madison right there besides a turnover. Now down to 11 seconds. Got to hurry. They're going to spike the ball. 8 seconds to go, and there's the spike in anger for Torgerson. 7 seconds to go.
Owyhee was able to get pressure with 3 guys. Owyee's defensive line has played really, really well tonight. And they were able to dial up some pressure with just 3 of them, which is really, really impressive. Unfortunately for Madison now, the only option they have is something deep. Maybe a couple laterals, you never know. But most likely they're just going to huck something deep here and hope something happens.
And what a great play by that Owyhee defensive line. They have been phenomenal today, come up with a huge play when it matters. 7 seconds to go. This probably the last play of the game. And there's the pressure from Owyhee again. This one thrown into the middle and caught, and no lateral opportunity, dropped at the 40, and Owyhee goes on the road and comes away with a 7-point victory over the Madison Bobcats, 24-17.
Great way to close out the game. Owyhee needed to get just a couple tackles there, had some awesome pressure from their defensive line, and they've got to be feeling really good going into week 1, 1-0, which is better than a lot of teams out there in the state so far this year. But they got to be feeling really, really good against getting this win against a solid Madison football team.
Yeah, great game to open up our high school football season. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game presented by the Idaho Transportation Department.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over in Pay Lake?
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have my seatbelt on.
And welcome back as final score has come upon us here at Madison as Owyhee defeats Madison on the road 24-17. All that's left to do is to name our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Again, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department and the Shift Initiative. And really, we had a discussion. Matt Irwin had a couple of touchdowns, but really this game was won because of the defense of Owyhee. That's where we're going to go with the big man, the linebacker, number 34, Gage Hawes. He had a pick 6. He was all over the place, a couple of sacks. He just set the tone for this Owyhee defense.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. The Owyhee defensive line in general, and then including Gage, obviously, as an outside linebacker, just played lights out tonight. There was obviously a few big run plays for Madison, but other than that, they really shut down the run game, which forced Madison to have to try and throw the ball all over the place. and really just kind of locked that down. I was super impressed. Yeah, I totally agree. Gage Haas, he's the Idaho Sports Player of the Game.
Yeah, so congratulations to him. And Owyhee, it always makes for a fun trip home when you have the win on the board. So Owyhee gets things started off right again this season after they defeat Madison again by a one-score game. You know, that's what happened last year. That's what happens this year. Just a great week for us to start off our season here on IdahoSports.com. Well, this has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by Teton Auto Group and Ermac Pediatrics. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Transportation Department of Health and Welfare, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valleywide Cooperative, the Next Steps Idaho, your local Toyota dealers, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Again, thanks to everybody here at Madison for helping us get these games broadcast to you. Great facilities here at Madison. Congrats, or thanks to them, I should say, for their hospitality. Again, congratulations to Gage Haas, our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department. Thanks for joining us again as Madison falls to Owyhee 24-17. Congrats to the Storm for a big win on opening night. For my broadcast partners tonight here, I'm Logan Green. We'll see you guys next week.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast with